According to the World Health Organization, strokes are the second leading cause of death globally, and 1 in 6 people will suffer one in their lifetime. Health campaigners are using World Stroke Day today to increase the awareness of its causes and symptoms and the effect it will have on people's lives.
Ade Djajamihardja is also doing his bit to help. He's a former ABC employee. Ade suffered a massive brain hemorrhage stroke at 42, which required life-saving surgery, and he was in hospital for 7 months. Ade's now 45 and he's in the process of learning to do many of the things most of us take for granted, and together with his wife Kate, he has written the Little Book of Hope for stroke survivors to help others going through a similar experience. Ade has been good enough to join us tonight live from Melbourne. Ade, lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Hello, good evening, and thank you very much for allowing us to...
Ade, how important how important is hope in your story?
Oh, hope is everything. Well, as Einstein used to say, attitude is everything, and that is something I found when I created these tools to keep a positive state.
Ade, can you just tell us a bit about your story? What happened several years ago now?
Interestingly, as life's ironies would have it, just 3 days after joining the volunteer board of Disability Media Australia, I did suffer my massive brain hemorrhage stroke that required immediate life-saving brain surgery under an induced coma, which I was not expected to survive. Then 7 months in hospital followed, where I then had to learn to breathe independently again, eat again, breathe, talk again, and now I'm learning to walk and hopefully dance again one day.
You must have gone through such a range of emotions during that time, Ade, reinventing yourself, essentially learning all those basics that we take for granted every day. Were there times when you sort of gave up on hope or thought this is just too hard?
Oh, there were times I found more difficult than others, that's for sure. But I also realised that, state of mind was an activity far more than just a state and had to be worked on. And that what we think about, we bring about. And my personal favourite, if we can master ourselves, we can master anything. So that was, I suppose, the genesis of creating my little baby here. Insert product placement. and getting from there. And what it is essentially a means of responding positively to life's adversities, of which we all face. And that developed my mantra of, regardless of our situation, it is how we choose to respond that says everything about us, whether we like it or not.
Ade, I'm just interested in examining the issue of how a stroke actually occurs. Now, I'm sure many people have seen some current advertising campaigns of what to be aware of if you see someone that may be exhibiting signs that they are having a stroke. Can you just talk us through that?
Well, there was a great campaign run by the National Stroke Foundation to talk about, if you think you might be having a stroke, think fast, which is an acronym for face, is there any drooping? A, can I move both arms, at which time I could. R, S, which is speech, and at the time I could articulate well, and time, which was to seek immediate urgent medical attention, which is what I did as well. But for some reason, when I was suffering my stroke, I had convinced myself that A stood for accent. Could I pull off a convincing accent?